Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome again to the Regional Scrum Gathering Kolkata 2021.
I think people are still joining.
Yep. Okay, so maybe I'll just repeat the last sentence yet again. So, a very warm welcome to each one of you for having made it to the Regional Scrum Gathering Kolkata 2021. My name is Meghna and I represent the organizing committee of the Regional Scrum Gathering Kolkata 2021. And it gives me great privilege to announce and introduce the upcoming speaker. And in his own words, music, sports, and people is what he enjoys. Based out of the city of gold, Johannesburg, Rahul has an industry experience of more than 15 years, working across different domains, be it banking, insurance, public sector, transport, utilities management, and digital media. Rahul's passion is to help individuals and organizations better understand Agile. So today we have the honor of hearing it live from him on the topic of cure is good, prevention's even better. Over to you, Rahul.
Okay, thanks a lot, Meghana, for the introduction. And let me share my screen. I think, yeah, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, and now the presentation. Is it visible?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Go ahead.
Okay, welcome
Got it.
everyone who have joined till now. And today I'll be speaking about our favorite part, the reality of our life, which is impediments. That is reality, right? We cannot live without them. They are part of our life. Uh, so cure is good, and prevention is even better. Okay, and we often use this line in our fitness or in our day-to-day life that prevention is always better than cure. So let's see how it is. It's a good terminology to use in impediments as well. Okay, and you can connect with me by using this barcode, by just scanning this barcode. If you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, yeah, I learned this in last conference, so it's cool. Okay, who am I? You already know now that I'm all about sports and music. The and especially if it is Regional Scrum Gathering Kolkata, then it has to be related to music, right? So my guru, she's also Bengali, and uh, yeah, I'm very much attached to the Hindustani classical music. Eventually, both of them, what they are doing, I'm passionate about, and uh, both of their names are also Rahul Sharma. So it's quite interesting. Anyways, let's jump to the topic, like what is an impediment? Okay, a hindrance or obstruction in doing something. It's a very generic definition which I took from the dictionary, right? What is an impediment? If I want to explore it more, this word, then a blocker that stops or slow down a person or a team or an organization to operate. That is an impediment. Okay, we use this term quite a lot. Okay, so now I think it's time to talk dirty. So what we are going to do is I will quickly share a link with you on, where is this, AirMeet? All right. You can click on this link and I will show you what you'll be seeing. You will be seeing a Miro board. Okay, you might have used this Miro board. Okay, you'll be seeing this. Okay, now what you are going to do is you will get 3 minutes. In those 3 minutes, you are going to write all those impediments that you remember you have encountered in like recent times. Okay, so you will be able to edit this board. You can take one sticky, you can double click on it, and then you can start writing. Okay, and then you can pull it on the impediment slide or impediment section. Okay, so I'm starting the timer now, and let's use this timer here, which is 3 minutes, and okay, and your time starts now. Okay, you'll be able to see the timer here as well. So any kind of impediments that you remember from recent times, or like any big impediments, that it could be on the team level, it could be like in the leadership, it could be anywhere. And if by any chance, if you do anything, you feel that you have done a mistake, there will be a undo, there will be an undo icon here, and you can anytime undo it. So not a problem at all. And still, if you're unable to resolve the problem, that's completely fine, because we are in learning mode. I'll create a few more stickies for you. And you can zoom in and zoom out at your end as well, if you, in case if you haven't used this tool. Okay, we have about 30 seconds left, as you can see on the board. All right, so time is coming up. Okay, so thanks everyone. So we won't go through them right now, but we are going to use them. Okay, just in some time. All right. So thanks for noting down the impediments. And now now we are back to our slides. So there are various categories that I have like distinguished that, okay, I mean, I have seen various kind of impediments. So these are not the only categories, these are few of them, because every organization or team have different contexts and they get different kind of impediments. Based on my experience, I just came up with like few categories that's where I have seen these different kind of impediments. Okay, and first of them that I have seen is insufficient knowledge. Okay, and when we say insufficient knowledge, either it's insufficient technical knowledge or insufficient functional knowledge, and because of which sometimes it hinders us to proceed, right? Maybe on the personal level, maybe on the individual level, or on the team level. Okay. Then we have processes and tools, right? So one of the agile values or manifesto says that individuals and interactions over processes and tools. We give value to individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Okay, but what starts happening is that in our organizations, we start giving importance to processes and tools over individuals and interactions, right? Which is one is lack of communication. So for example, a lot of organizations, they start using some tools, some brilliant tools like Jira, right? I don't hate Jira, but I'm just using it for an example. And then all the communication starts happening on Jira or maybe on any other tool, right? Where I mean, and it becomes lack of communication, right? Rigid processes. I remember I worked at an organization where we were following a process. Okay, and then after a few months, we realized that this process doesn't actually work for us. I mean, why are we following it? And then we realized that we were following it for last 7 years. Okay, that area was following that process for last 7 years, and the person who came up with that process, he actually left the organization 5 years back. And we were like, wow, and we haven't even looked at it that do we need to like change it? Okay, so rigid processes also hinders us. Difficult people with no shared understanding, right? uh, that comes to like it can happen on the team members level. Okay, that I mean we might have difficult team members, and they might not have a shared understanding that what we are trying to achieve. And then it may happen on the leadership level as well, because at one organization where I've worked, uh, so there were a lot of problems, a lot of ego problems in the leadership. And then actually their leader never worked on it. And that's why we were in that rabbit hole where we were not improving, because our leadership were not together. Legacy systems, they also a lot many times hinders us from proceeding well. Okay, one is like, and the one reason is high transaction cost, which means that if we have to make any change, right, it's very expensive. Okay, it's very expensive to develop, it's very expensive to release to the customers. Then difficult to find knowledge workers. And I will take an example of when I used to work at bank. We use a lot of green screens at bank, and I remember we used to use a MySys product, and we used to struggle in finding people. I'm not calling resources because I don't like that word. Uh, we were facing difficulties in like finding people in those technologies, and then we were like, is this the only technology where how we can manage it? Are there any other options? Okay, so difficult to find knowledge workers. And then high response time of applications. So I remember at another organization, there was a customer onboarding process. Okay, it was built on VB, Visual Basic, and it was still part of that organization even until 2 years back, right? And when we asked our front officers at the branches, we came to know that because of these problems, because of these legacy systems, people are unhappy. And when I say people, it's not just about the customers, it's about the people who are actually using it on the ground. Our staff was unhappy because, I mean, it never works. I mean, it breaks a lot, and then you are doing a lot of patchwork, but still we are not happy because it's too slow. Okay. And then there could be a few impediments which can be out of organization, right? One is personal life issues. Believe it or not, they are an impediment that impacts our work as well. Because my first Scrum Master, okay, in 2011, she used to, whenever we used to chat, she used to start with my like personal discussions, and then she used to come to the work related thing. And then I was like, why do you ask like personal questions first, and then you come to the work related questions. And then she was like, Rahul, our life is full of various systems. So if there is a problem in one system, then it will definitely impact the other system, right? So like our work system, our love life, our career, money, it could be anything, right? Our kids, so it could be anything. Our passion, so if I'm unable to live my passion, if I'm unable to play music, or if I'm unable to do, for example, workout, if I'm passionate about it, I won't be happy. If I won't be happy, I won't be able to put my 100% in whatever I do in my work as well. Then natural or unnatural disasters, okay, uh, pandemics, uh, or earthquakes, or do we have a control on them? No, but they do impact, right? And then bad economic conditions, okay. So if there are bad economic conditions, well, we cannot do anything about it, but it's all about how we tackle it, right? So now what we are going to do is, how many of them are under your control? So we have to find that, right? So now we will go back to the Miro link again, okay? And then I will enable the second slide where you will see three sections, right? The impediments that are under team's control, the impediments that are under organization's control, and any impediments that you feel that are out of control, okay? Out of anyone's control. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the, yeah. So now you're going to be on that Miro link again, and I'm going to open this for you. So now what you're going to do is, you're going to pick your impediments, the impediments that you wrote, and you are going to pull them. So you can just like single click, like I will show you, and then you can pull them in the section where you believe that they lies. So for example, if you feel that that impediment was under or is under team's control, you can move it under organization control or out of control, right? So I am putting a timer again. I can see like a lot of people have already started moving, which is brilliant. So we are already saving some time, and your official time starts now. So and still, if you remember any other impediments that you didn't write, you can still pull a blank sticky and start writing there. Meanwhile, I will drink, but it's just water, nothing else. Okay, near about 1 minute 28 seconds left. And if by any chance, if you by mistake you do anything else, that's completely fine. That's completely fine. You can just undo. You can see here there is a link. There's a button for undo. Even if you're unable to undo it, that's also completely fine. Because whenever we play with a tool first time or second time, it's quite natural. It's like our agile journey, right? Okay, around 40 seconds are left. Even if you still remember any of the impairments that you have faced, you can still like remember it and note it down now. Okay, so it's about to finish. 3 seconds. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, thanks to everyone for moving them to the different sections. And let's go back to the presentation. All right. So possible. So we will be discussing possible preventive measures, right? So I mean, when I'm speaking, okay, when I'm speaking, if you realize that, okay, I mean, we can somehow, if you get an idea, you can write it down in your notebook, like, or maybe even if you want to write on the Miro board on your particular impairment, you can write there as well. So write possible preventive measures as we discuss in your personal notes or even on Miro board, right? Because that board, I will keep it open for like next few days for you, so that if there are anything that you want to take from there, you can. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the insufficient knowledge. Okay. So how can we? I mean, how can we make sure that we can prevent these gaps in technical knowledge? So maybe in our area for our teams, maybe we can have books, blogs, and articles. Okay. So now, because our teams are not no more physically together, okay, so then we can have ebooks, we can have some blogs, we can have a shared folder where we can keep these articles, right? uh, Read, so basically how we can create a team's library. It can be a e-library, it can be a physical library whenever we will be back to normal, and we will be back to normal quite soon. uh, we can even write books, blogs, and articles, right? Because everyone comes up with a different experience. Sometimes we feel that, no, what, I mean, I don't have anything to share, but you know what, everyone has something to share, and other people can always learn from you. Okay, so start writing if you haven't already started, and if you are already writing few things from your experience, then keep writing. It's very important. We don't know when it will help someone. Interactive videos, so we can create interactive videos. Okay, so by watching interactive videos, by creating interactive videos. And for one team, how we are doing it is, we realized for that team, I mean, I'm currently coaching that team, so we realized that our domain is very spatial. It's like a very different domain. Okay, that's related to energy. Okay, so and there are very few people who have knowledge of this, because like if you want to find a person from banking industry, insurance industry, it's very easy. But if you want to find people in some very niche domains, then it is difficult. So what we started doing is, now everything is virtual. So what we do is, whenever we daily we are having knowledge sharing sessions of 30 minutes daily. So we are following it religiously, where someone will share something, and we have a schedule that who will share what on which day. It could be technical, it could be even functional as well, right? And then, because it's happening on Teams, we record it, and over the period, we are doing it for last, I think, 4 5 months, and until now, like, we have a huge knowledge base all recorded already with our team. And whenever a new person now joins, we just share those links and start going through those videos. So I mean, no one is spending time now, but people are learning from them. Okay. Improve practices, so like technical practices, pair programming, it is important. Unit testing, it is very important, or test driven development. Continuous refactoring, we should be doing it. More programming, where a person, so like where the whole team sit together, one person is sharing the screen, and everyone is contributing to that. And then test driven development, behavior driven development. If we are not doing any of these practices, we can introduce, and we can see if they benefits us, right? There's nothing wrong in trying anything new. Then functional knowledge, how can we improve that as well? So other than videos, right? So we can create a safe space to learn. Like when we say that, okay, no questions are stupid, so all the questions are welcome. So in whichever role you are operating in your organization, whether it's a coaching, agile coach, scrum master, or team member, or whatever it is, okay, motivate people to ask more and more questions, right? And then basically congratulate them if they ask even a stupid question. That's a brilliant question, thanks for asking it. I mean, that means that we are not on the same page. Who would like to share this with this person? Okay, so create a safe space to learn. Backlog refinements, that's where it happens. We motivate our team members to ask a lot of questions. And then pre-refinement sessions, they are not official in any of the frameworks, in any of the methods, but it is important that we have pre-refinement sessions where team members go through what are the next set of backlog items that we will be looking at, so that they can read about them and they can be ready with their questions, that okay, I mean, we don't understand this, and then so that they are prepared to ask questions, right? So that's how we create a safe space to learn. Processes and tools over individuals and interactions. How we can get better in lack of communication, face-to-face communication. Rahul, are you kidding? I mean, in this pandemic, face-to-face communication, is it possible? Yes, it is possible, right? I mean, we are doing it, although I mean, only I'm on camera, but even if we are using Teams, I mean, if we are using Zoom, any tool, do it face to face. Yes, it cannot replace the physical interaction, but it is what we can say, we at least the survival. We can survive where we can see each other, right? So it's very important that we can see each other, and like team members or leaders, people can connect. So if we are able to see each other, we'll be able to connect better, right? Try no email week within a team. So we tried it in one of the teams, I think in 2015 or 16. So what we did is, like, guys, within the team, no one will send any email within the team. So if there is an email coming from outside, or if you need to send an email to someone else who is outside the team, you can. But within the team, no emails. Try it for a week and see if it improves anything. Okay. Put agile events and acts in practice if they are not. Sometimes it feels like, oh, they take a lot of time, but when these events and activities are in place, they actually removes a lot of ad hoc discussions, right? Where we don't know whom to involve and whom not to. And over information is always better than less information, getting less information. Rigid silos processes, so identify delays and optimize them, right? So this picture I have taken from SAFE, because I'm a SAFE trainer as well. So it's like, identify that how much time it's taking for actual work and what is the delay time in between. And if we can remove that delay time, we need to concentrate on that. Okay. So you can find it easily on the SAFE website, like what is the the waiting time in between, and if we can remove that, or if we can make it lesser, then it would be great for us, right? Get rid of processes that hinders collaboration. If a process, if you believe, even if it was brought down by, if it was brought by the CEO of the company, if it is not working, it's not working. Be honest about it and be open about it and change it. Okay, collaboration is key. Change performance management process if it's needed. It should not be on the individual level. It needs to be on the team's level if you want to create an environment of collaboration rather than competition. Okay. Difficult people with no shared understanding. So to create shared understanding, what we can do is, first thing is that we have to train them. And it's like now there is a sense of urgency. Train everyone so that uh, they all understand the same way from one particular word or terminology that we will use. Do a lift off, where what we do in lift off, it's like we need to do value stream mapping. So like what is our business value stream, and then how our development teams are working on that, on those value streams. Then working agreements. No team, I believe, no team should work without working agreements. It's a crime. Okay, so if your teams are working without any working agreements or working alignments, then I mean, go today. I mean, not today, but like maybe next week, and start come up with the working agreements for the teams. It helps a lot. Do vision workshop where everyone is aware of the vision. Product owners, they help it. I mean, uh, they come up with an initial idea, and then teams can together they can create vision in those workshops. That we, I mean, as a coach, we do. We facilitate these kind of events. Roles and responsibility clarity, that is also very important. Context diagram, so it's like how this team is collaborating with other teams. So that context diagram is also very important, where everyone understand that how or from where we expect some data, and who is expecting any data from our team. Okay. Definition of done, definition of ready. We need to know them upfront before we start our development. Okay. And then coaching starts. So it's very important to have that shared understanding. Then all these workshops and coaching, they help in creating the shared understanding. Legacy systems, uh, start automation. If not possible, then aim to replace the system. So someone said, I think few years back, someone said that if you cannot write the test for a code, then it's already a legacy code, right? And the same is applicable for the systems. So start automating things, and if it is not possible, then aim to replace the system, and everything can be replaced. Out of organization, personal life issues, support. At least we can give support to our people, and give coach people if asked. So if we have coaches, coach people, because when people need help, we should do it, even on their personal life issues if they want. Natural or unnatural disasters, uh, they are out of anyone's control. How we can respond to bad economic conditions. uh, I would recommend to read a book, Let My People Go Surfing. Okay, it's on a company called Patagonia. So it's an European clothing company. How did they respond when they were hit by bad economic conditions? So that's incredible to read. Okay, so read that, and be transparent about it. That we are in problem, how to do it. In our company, we were also in trouble. Like, how do we want to respond to it? It's on to us. So transparency is important. So think about possible preventive actions for your impediments. As soon as this session is finished, okay, you can like start noting down, and like think over the points that were discussed. We didn't go deep into them because we had less time, but think over them and start putting that what preventive actions we can take, so that we are not getting those impediments in future. Okay, prevention is difficult, not impossible. So we always need to ask this question: is it difficult or impossible? If it is impossible, okay. If it is difficult, let's try for it. And I can tell you, everything is difficult, not impossible. And that's it. That's it. I'm done. So, and I hope that I'm in the time box. Meghna, over to you.
Yes, Rahul, absolutely amazing session, and you're very well within time box. We can take a few questions. We can. run for another 4 to 5 minutes for sure, while still being inside the time box for the Q&A. The participants by default will not be able to speak because they can't unmute themselves. So if you have any questions which you think Rahul would be a help with, please post them onto the Q&A.
Thanks, Pranay. Yeah, and even after the event, you can connect with me if you have any questions, anything. I mean, you can always connect with me, and I can always help whenever I can. So,
Yep. So we have the first question that has come up, Rahul, for you. Legacy systems do have a challenge with automation,
hmm,
but we can't simply throw them out. What's the
hmm.
optimal approach here?
Yeah. So again, we know that it's becoming a problem for us. So if a legacy system is problem for us today, then tomorrow it will be even bigger. Right. So I will take an example at the bank, at one bank where I was working, we were using these green screens. It was a MySys product equation. Okay.
Mhm.
Then what we did was we were in trouble, and then I came to know that one of the insurance companies, they were also using the equation,
Mhm.
and then they identified that they were also struggling in getting people, and then they identified that can we replace this system, it will take time but we need to invest in it. Okay, it's a long term investment. And then they identified that there was a Oracle system, it was secured, and they actually started a new development with that. Of course it needs money, but then we have to see that on long, what is the long term benefits, because we always need to see long term benefits, not the short term benefits. So if we can spend on doing some R&D, that if we can replace, and then again we can do it in agile way. So like take a subsystem, take a module, and then develop this in like vertical slicing, and let's see if it is working in our system end to end. Let's test one functionality, and if one functionality is working, then I mean we can try building new functionalities over that new system. So yeah, so that's how that's one of the ways how we can try to tackle it,
Mhm.
but it takes time.
Sure. The next question for you, Rahul, is how to get rid of ego from PO. And I assume PO is product owner.
Yeah, yeah. So first thing is, if you are a coach or a scrum master, or I mean even if a team member, it's very important to build a relationship. Okay, if you don't carry a personal relationship with that person, uh, like that ego will always come. And if you carry that personal relationship, then even that ego will come, that person won't mind if you are giving any feedback. So you have to build those relationships. Do we make relationships by talking about work? Never. So what I do is I just look for that. Okay, I mean, oh, this person is interested in music. I'll give you very small example. I went to a home affairs office and I saw the lady who was helping. She had a tattoo. She had a tattoo of her sons or something, and then I showed her my tattoo. That, hey, you are a tattoo lover. Hey, wow. So what is that? And then we chatted about tattoos, and okay, and that's how we built a friendship in just 15-20 minutes in that interaction. So try to identify that what that person is passionate about. Okay, and then there will be something where you can connect on personal level. Once you are connected with personal level, and then you'll be like, you know what, when you will be friends, you can say anything and that person won't mind. He might like say that, oh, I mean, that's very blunt, and it's like, yes, I have to, because we are friends. So build personal relationships, egos will go off.
The next question is really on the logistics part. Will the slides be available again to see? Yes, we're doing the recordings, so you will definitely have access to the content. So, Rahul, I make that easier for you.
Thank you.
And the next question, due to paucity of time, we will take two more questions. We'll take the next question from Pavitra Raghavan and
Hmm.
the one from Pete. So those will be the last questions, but you're
Sure.
free to connect with Rahul offline
Yeah.
or within the coach's clinic and
Yeah, definitely.
as well.
Anytime.
All right. So the question from Pavitra is all about teams complain of being in too many meetings. Any
Hmm.
suggestions on how to resolve this?
Yeah. First thing is that do they complain uh, after being in those meetings? Yes, definitely. Okay. So then sometimes what we have to do is we have to ask people. Okay. So yes, we are in too many meetings. There could be a problem. So for example, if we are running, I believe, I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe it's related to like we have 2 week sprint, and now we are like putting our 1.5 days in the meetings. How can we complete our work? I mean, this is very, I mean, it comes a lot. So ask team that please don't commit for 10 days, commit for 8.5 days. Do not commit for 10 days, because we know that we will be spending this time for the shared understanding, for the future iterations. So please do not commit for 10 days, commit for 8.5 days. People will stop complaining, because now they know that meetings are coming, right? And they are only planning for 8.5 days. So this is one way uh, how we can try to solve this.
Sure. Also, I think some meetings are aimed at understanding requirements, let's say grooming in particular. So that's probably not a meeting, but something that's going to help work move faster as well, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Although grooming is a bad word, refinement is a better word.
Yes.
Okay, and should we take Pete's question?
Yeah, let's take
Difficult.
Pete's question and then wind
Yeah,
up. Difficult people with no shared understanding. How do you deal with the hippo or, in brackets, manager in the room?
yeah, yeah. Pete, few things that I have seen working. Maybe you can try them on your side as well. So one is the working agreements. So not just within the team members, but everyone. So if this manager, maybe product manager or anyone, if he or she will be involved with the team, then he or she need to understand that how the interactions will happen, right? Then how the teams will take the requirements. Okay. So all these things, for example, definition of ready, it's also one of the cool one, right? Because for example, when hippo is coming from product background, and he or she may like, hey guys, I mean, yeah, yesterday I had a brain fart, and like this is the like brilliant requirement, and like guys, I want you to work from tomorrow. But now if that person upfront will be aware of that, he or she cannot come like that, because that requirement uh, needs to fulfill the criteria of definition of ready. So that is the reason everyone needs to be trained together. Okay. So and in all these activities that we do in liftoff, or some people call it sprint zero, some people call it design sprint. I don't like to call it a sprint, because a sprint is something that delivers something valuable, a usable product. So if it, I mean, that's why I don't like to call it a sprint. Liftoff is a good word that I like. So by doing these liftoffs, we can actually prevent a lot of these problems. But I think if there is a particular challenge, we can anytime discuss it later, because every problem, every challenge has a different context. So I might not cover that. So we might need a deeper discussion. So, but I'm happy to do it later. But I won't be staying in this session, because 9 days back I had a baby boy. So I was blessed with a baby boy. Yeah, thank you. And for last like few days, I'm on leave for 1 month. But please connect me on LinkedIn, anywhere, and then we can chat. So I'm happy. My contact number is there. You can WhatsApp me anytime. I'm very easy to chat about, because I love people. So I love to connect.
Thanks a lot, Rahul. So that's all that we can cover as a part of Rahul's session. And it's always a privilege to meet you, interact with you, Rahul. And there are a lot of learnings that we have coming from your side. So thanks a
Same here,
lot for
Meghna.
being part of this event. And
Yeah.
thanks for
And
your time.
one last thing, that thanks to everyone for giving your time, because time is the most precious thing that we give to anyone. So thanks for your time and attending this session.
Sure. Thanks a lot, folks. This session ends and then the next session continues.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cheers, team. Cheers, everyone.